And we are live. Welcome to the KD Ratio, your place for all things nerd. To my right, I have Dill Pickle.
Dylan.
To my left, your right, I have K71 Trey, the Assassin, the Bull Roarer, the Mac Attack. Gentlemen,
You
how we doing?
suck compared to me.
I'm just the dill pickle.
This is Dill Pickle. If you want something, if you need electrolytes, you go talk to him. He'll juice you up. You want the Bull Roarer? You want the K71 Trey?
the bull roar.
You lock it in on the
Is
Miami.
that like the Balrog?
No, it's a character from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so it's Bilbo's great uncle who was like an adventurer.
Oh,
You know what's funny about that is that was
that's
my
a deep pool.
that was my original gamer tag way back when I was like 13. And this was like pre Lord of the Rings Billy. He didn't know what it was. And he constantly made fun of that name all the time because he had no idea. It's
Bull roar.
Bull Roarer.
He's like Bull Roar. He's like it sounds so crazy, and I'm like it's cool. Being all defensive.
So cool. You know it's your mission. Meanwhile, I'm over here like Bull Roarer. Unimpressive. Yeah. Buff midgets suck is the way to go.
That's impressive.
Gentlemen, we are here to discuss Project Hail Mary because Dylan and I had a chance to go see it in theaters on Friday? Friday. Just right out the gate, I had no idea. I didn't watch really any trailers. I didn't overexpose myself. I hadn't heard about this film really. First time I ever heard it was when Dylan brought it up. Didn't even think I was going to get a chance to go. Ended up being able to go. What a fantastic movie.
It was really
I mean,
good.
seriously, it was so good. It was, I think maybe because I didn't go into it oversold and overhyped as to what it might be and what might happen, I just was along for the ride. I felt like Ryan Gosling did an incredible job
What
at
was
acting.
the genre? I don't know
Sci-fi.
anything.
It's sci-fi. You're going to love it when you see
Yeah.
it. You're going to love it.
I generally, for the most part, like Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. They do a really good job. They can do comedy really well, but they also have ventured into like, I correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they do the Spider-Verse movies?
Yep.
Yeah, so like they know how to balance like
And the Lego
action and
Movie.
humor, but they also did
Yeah.
like 21 Jump Street and all that.
I
And,
know
yeah.
it's funny how they how sometimes you fall into these directors fall into these random films, and
Yeah.
this is by far one of the bigger blockbuster sci-fi films to come out. But I when that movie concluded, I was like just so impressed with.
just
It was a good
climaxing.
quality movie. The storyline was really original. It did a really great job of balancing science without getting too heavy on it, but also keeping it fun and
Well, and it adapted to further your point. It did a really good job of adapting the book. So I haven't read the book. Billy hasn't read the book. We went with somebody who did, and he thoroughly enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
So that I can say to people who don't know the book and to somebody that does know the book, overall we liked it, which means it's a good adaptation.
yes. And it was Andy Weir is the guy who wrote the book.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's a new sci-fi thing, and it's only I think the book's only like 4 years old.
Yeah, we
Something like this, 5 years old maybe. What a cool little. I wouldn't say he built a world that's that interesting because it's very earthly.
yeah. Well, it's
but
the same
he built a great story.
same author as The Martian, so it's grounded in some
Yeah.
ways. Like it's a very hard science until a certain point. But and yeah, it was a cool world to be in. Especially with so that's my one complaint is that I think they should have held back on the trailers. I think it was like the second trailer out. First trailer, they mentioned.
Which you didn't even see a trailer, so
Yeah.
Have you seen the
Didn't.
trailer, Kyles?
I have not even seen.
Are you
going to
watch the
I
trailers?
know the book, but I didn't even know it got made into a movie. To be honest with you,
Do you know the plot of the book?
um,
Because like I almost don't want to talk about it until
I don't know much about the book. I haven't read it. It was just on my radar.
Yeah. If you don't plan to watch the trailers, I almost don't want to talk about what was spoiled in the trailers.
I'm not super worried about
No, okay.
spoilers. You know me by now. I'm not-
He meets an alien. Okay.
Our audience might be.
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Well, that's in the trailers. So
oh, okay.
um,
All right.
and that's part of my complaint. The first trailer I think was perfect because they hint that he meets an alien. Like they have like he's like, you know, his reaction to meeting something, but you don't get to see it. And then I think it was like the second or third trailer they full on show the alien, and it's like, come on,
Yeah.
why? Why do we have to?
That's such a micro gripe, though. I feel
I
like,
know
'cause
exactly, and
it's
that's not a gripe on the movie.
Exactly.
That's just I think it
There's
would have better
context
been a
around it.
better experience if I hadn't have known
known.
what the alien looked
Yeah.
like.
Well, for me, the plot, the way that this unfolds, is
Yeah.
very Tarantino-esque, because
Oh.
in my opinion, it's one of those things where it continues to unwrap and unravel, and you get more and more context. And
Yeah.
it turns in directions where you're like, you didn't even think about, because you didn't have the context to be like, oh, that's a new angle. We can go there now. So it reminded me of a very Tarantino plot where it's a narrative where it unfolds over time. And that was exciting because the whole time I'm kind of trying to piece it together. What's going to happen? What's the plan? And at every like 30 minutes, it would do something where you're like, okay, well, scrap that whole thought. This is now what's going on. It was just so enjoyable. The alien that he meets they build this really interesting relationship. Dylan and I were talking after the movie where you have this, like in The Martian, for example, you're trying to figure out how is he going to communicate back with Earth. Well, he kind of sets up this cool little hexadecimal system, but then 2 minutes goes by and they've developed this system where he launched some code on his whatever, and now he can type, and it's not a problem.
Right.
That to me is fantastic storytelling, because in the book you can go on for 2-3 chapters of how they figure that out. In a movie, I don't need
You don't want to
40
waste time.
minutes of narrative spent on figuring out how to build a language. And in this film, within 2 minutes, it feels like, as an observer or as an audience member, like it feels like they spent 2 minutes getting a common language developed between the two species, and then they rip forward.
Yeah.
And the bond that they form, really, for not being able to embrace each other because they're so fundamentally different. They live in a whatever the Iridian.
Eridu.
Yeah.
Iridian.
They have they live in a very ammonia rich environment, and it's extremely hot, so they can't ever physically touch. But the bonds that they're able to build narratively, even though there's always this physical distance between them two, it was just so well done.
Yeah.
And like I said, it is very Martian-esque, where it didn't feel like it had this deep, interesting world, because the world was very kind of like Interstellar, where the world is so familiar. It's Earth, but you add this interesting problem that they're up against to solve, and now it becomes really, really interesting.
I really liked how the problem was also like the solution to fast and light travel. So it's like, oh, we don't need to even think about how he was able to travel that far.
They turn this oil into something and excrete massive amounts of energy, and we're good. Again, I don't need 2 hours spent on them figuring these things out, because that's not what's interesting.
Well,
Give me
and
the other context.
like we were talking after the movie, there are certain movies that's the point of the movie, is like with Arrival. Like the whole movie is about them learning to communicate, and that's the story. Versus this, that's not the main part of the story. The main part of the story is the adventure, them teaming up, that whole thing. And so I think it worked really well, how you were saying how they just kind of they explain it and then move on.
Yep. So basically, he just makes these sound waves. He emits these sound waves, and they transform each word and each sound wave into like a language, and then they have fun with giving him a certain voice setting and stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's cool. It's really cool. And what I think is, like, our wives will really enjoy it, because it is this kind of fun, playful thing. It never feels, even though the situation's kind of dire, it never feels so heavy where I don't know how to frame it. Like, you don't feel like you have to stay locked in and it's this heavy weight. It's a very comfortable movie to just sit back and watch and enjoy, because it's playful and it keeps progress. Like, the pacing of it is really, really straightforward and simple. So,
What do you think of the comedy? Like as somebody,
It was
so
perfect.
right,
It was perfectly
Love and
balanced.
Thunder, you thought was too much.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of has to do with writing. I think you can have as much comedy as you want. I mean, the first Guardians of the Galaxy had comedy like every 3 lines, but it was written well.
Mm-hmm.
This I thought it was perfectly balanced for the context, and because the writing was married with the acting of Ryan Gosling, who I think was at his best in this
Mm-hmm.
film, it came across as very human and not forced, and it was it was him. Like I really bought into him as a character. Like he's this kind of a loser with a PhD,
Yeah.
right? And he's a lonely, sad guy, and he kind of is that the whole film, and never really becomes that. And he knows he's a tool for the government or whatever the hell this agency is. So it's kind of this weird, fun thing to play with, and in the end, he gets exactly. It's huge spoiler alert. He ends up living on this alien planet,
Huh.
and it's like but the way that the movie delivers it, it's so clear that he's more at home than he ever was at home.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he found his way there, and it was just such a perfect bow on a great movie. I can't sing its praises enough. It was so refreshing to watch a film like that.
So I talked to 2 other people that have seen it, not outside of the people we saw it with, and both of them had the same exact complaint.
What's
They
that?
they did also really enjoy it, but they both had one complaint, and I kind of, in a way, agree with them. But to me, it's not a complaint as much as just a nitpick. They said it felt too long.
The movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
So, for example, like
It
they
was.
said,
I was looking at the runtime. It's like 2.5 hours.
yeah, they said like, and I agree with this one. The karaoke scene was a little too long.
yeah. I would agree with that.
And then they were also saying that like they wish the flashbacks would have cut off sooner. Like near the end,
they
when
were
another
flashbacks,
flashback.
but they weren't flashbacks. That was him regaining his memory.
I know, but they had wished it had, like they felt like at near the end of the movie they're like, oh, another flashback,
Yeah.
rather than they just wanted to stay in the moment.
I'm
And I
sensing
kinda-
less buy-in on the second one, the second argument, than
Yeah.
the karaoke argument.
Well, the karaoke one is interesting because that to me was you're supposed to hate that woman,
Yeah,
but I walked away not.
I didn't.
Because she was so honest at every point. She was just so, even though she totally fucked him over and was like, "You're doing this, get shit on," but she was just so clear, and it was like, "You don't have a choice in this. This is for humanity." I don't know. Like I did not end up. I actually felt bad for her because she was so isolated and alone. She was like the female version of him, but almost in a worse way
Yeah,
because she was given this great burden to lead this project, and
had this duty.
yeah, and just never really had no
But
one could relate to her
Even I feel like the karaoke scene could have been cut down
because
because they like
sing
did
half the song.
they did half the they did not cut away. She starts singing a song and it goes and you're like, oh, are they doing the whole song? They just about do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which I don't. I remember in the theater thinking like, okay, I get it. I get the point of what you're trying to show
Yeah.
here. We can move on now. And for a second, I thought they were gonna have some romance, some.
yeah,
It felt weird.
some intellectual sex.
Yeah.
That was the on-screen sex scene. You know, that scene. It didn't bother me. I felt like in the moment maybe it was a little long, but it didn't really irk me because that humanized her. And
Mhm.
again, it was this weird. It's very clear based on her actions that you should hate her, but I didn't walk away like that. I don't know. There was something about her personality and her delivery that made it so justified her actions to me that I was
Well-
like willing to accept the character flaws.
And I mean, I think it helps that we're fans of sci-fi and like we understand the situation. But I think most people too, watching that movie, I don't think you'll come away hating her as much as understanding she's the one they put in charge to make tough decisions, and she's doing it, and she doesn't feel good about it, but
she's like, here's the facts. Half the human race is going to die in the next 30 years.
Yeah.
And you're the only one that can do this mission now that these people died. I'm sorry, we've given you time to think about it. There's no discussion here. This is what's happening. And she was just so upfront. And then in the beginning, she made it very clear that his life was not important on the grand scale of things. Like when she put him in the room with the alien
committee
cell, they're like, we don't know if you're gonna die. Good luck. And he's like, oh, she just was so obviously transparent with, this is what we're up against. Get on board and or die. So, that's an interesting point that they keyed in on that.
Yeah, and these were two separate conversations, so it wasn't like one.
Both brought up the karaoke.
Both said too long.
It's a sign of the times. That song, right?
Yeah.
We gotta get away from here. That song?
See, so sing now half the song for us.
I don't know if I know any more lyrics, but yeah,
I also, a part of it might be like, maybe this is just me, but I don't like that song.
I don't like 70s music. So like even The Martian, I hate the music.
I like 70s music. I do.
You hate the music in Martian?
ABBA?
Yeah, but it's supposed to be silly. Like, he hates it too.
Yeah, I'm Mark Watney. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, but
bullshit.
it's like, that's what gets him through. It's kind of, I like it because it's clearly not his thing, but he's like, fuck it, it's what I got,
I'm still taken aback by, like, some people consider the 70s one of the greatest generations of music of all time.
Yeah, that one.
And
no, I would say the rock and roll
of
era
the 60s and 70s
is, well,
yeah.
70s rock and roll?
Absolutely. Well,
I
there was
like
disco
80s.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
That's
but
what I think.
like Led Zeppelin and
70s,
Rolling Stones and like all of like the Vietnam music from the late 60s and 70s. Like that's such an iconic era.
Yeah.
Of music, and he just flat out said that all 70s music is
okay. Well, not all, but disco, ABBA.
Disco is a genre of the 70s, but there's multiple genres that exist within a decade.
Yeah.
That'd be like saying, I hate EDM music, or I hate 2010s, because it's all EDM.
Everything.
Yeah.
Or it's,
That's a
like.
good point.
So I'll change it. I hate disco and ABBA.
That I can respect more.
No,
Yeah.
just-
Although I like some disco music, like Bee Gees. I can get down with some Bee Gees.
But yeah, so well, like you were saying, you don't
I
necessarily
I
like
don't
that
mind any of
song,
it.
and so I wonder how much that played into it. With that's the song she sings, and like the dissonance between people. Like if she had been singing like Linkin
Sign
Park
of the Times.
in the end,
Isn't that a Harry Styles song?
Maybe he redid it.
Did
he
he
redid it.
I didn't know that was or he redid that.
I don't. Do you know who it's originally by?
No.
Me neither.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it is his song. Because it's not like she was singing an old song. She just was singing a song.
It felt like an old song though.
Because she made it. She slowed it. It felt like she slowed it down.
That's not a 70s song. That song is by Harry Styles. Came out in 2017.
Damn. Okay.
9 years old.
Well,
Basically the 70s.
basically.
This. If you factor 1970 into
You're supposed to be the music guy between the three of us.
Yeah, what the hell?
I was not Harry Styles.
That song, it was different enough where it didn't. That scene landed with me.
It did, but then it went on too long for me. I'll
I feel
agree
like
with
you're
them.
trying to connect to him, but you keep coming back.
Yeah,
like, keep pulling yourself away.
Well, it's
like
just so funny that two different people brought that up as a.
they
as a
must not be
complaint.
as smart as you.
That's a simple fact.
That's just the way it is.
No, because it's like this harrowing. You feel bad for her because you know that what she's being asked to do, and then she has this moment where she's trying to engage with everybody. She's very clearly uncomfortable, and then Ryan Gosling is there's a connection there. Where he's like, "Yeah, great job. Like you're coming out of your shell," and then she locks back in and goes back to doing it. I don't know. It didn't bother me at all. I thought it was poetic. Yeah, I don't know.
What
I
about
didn't go-
overall length?
Of the film?
Yeah.
Dude, 2.5 hour movies is the new normal. Like, get the fuck out of here if you're gonna. We demand
Get the bang
too
for your
much.
buck.
Yes,
I mean,
we demand too
as long as it's
much
good.
out of our movies these days. We want full character development. We want all this plotting and stuff. You can't do that in an hour and a half film. If a 2.5 hour film for you in a modern world is too long for you, then guess what? You just don't like modern films because that is the standard.
Yeah.
2 hours is a short movie nowadays. I mean, I just watched again. I don't know. I'm on a Rebel Moon kick again with my wife. I watch it. It's a 4 hour film. I just watched part 1. Like that's the new normal. Like 4 hours is long, but that's the reality of where we're at in terms of film.
I'm an advocate for bring back intermissions. Give us fucking 6-hour movies.
Do not disrupt my. Okay. If it's a 6 hour movie,
No, that's
sure.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Give us longer movies, but bring back intermission. But give us. I'm down to go and spend like, 6
Would you
hours
be-
sounds
So
like a
granted-
lot, but
So intermission happens. They force you to watch 15 minutes more of previews and ads, or maybe not even previews, but ads.
why not just play it during intermission?
Well,
I don't know if
what
I'd
I'm-
want to watch
when you-
like trailers or ads in
That's- that would
an
happen.
intermission because it would take me out of it.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah,
I'd rather it just was like
That's my concern.
it
You lose the
calm
energy.
down, and then if they start doing that, I would leave to go to the bathroom and stuff, and then come back. I wouldn't sit there and.
But like they'll.
What if
tone it down
the
and then-
intermission was just a 15-minute mega trailer for the rest of the movie? Make you watch.
Here's a summary of what you just watched.
Yeah,
'Cause
previously on
Yeah.
this movie. Next time in 5 minutes.
or intermission is like an episode of How I Met Your Mother or some like other
Yeah.
show. It's
just totally. It's a
throw
super
it.
drama. You're like tears, and then How I Met. Your
Granted, this is just online, and
Mother. Okay.
like opinions can be all over the place online. But right now, the karaoke scene is being received very well.
Really?
Online.
Okay.
People are calling it like the highlight.
Yeah, I was. That's what I'm saying.
the highlight?
the emotional highlight of the film.
the high.
I felt
What
like
was the
it gave
highlight
it
for you,
grandeur.
Not like the film. Like people are saying, it was like the emotional anchor. Like it was like what humanizing, I guess.
I felt.
Hold on. The highlight of the entire film.
Yeah, I have a specific scene, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people's.
It's where he saves him.
No.
I think it's probably when he goes back.
When he goes back to Rocky.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be my.
Mine is when he's fishing. Let's go fishing. And you have the score and the rocket.
In the simulator?
No.
What do you mean the fishing?
When they drop the probe down into the atmosphere,
Oh,
rocket
that.
starts-
Yeah.
yeah.
The look of disgust on his face.
I
when
thought he was
said
talking
that.
about like because they have like a virtual room to
Uh.
make you not go insane and feel like you're in a capsule. And didn't they do like a little fishing weird thing there?
yeah, he was showing them.
Yeah,
But
I thought you were talking about that.
well,
scene.
they
I'm like, huh?
and like that
Incredible.
song is called "Let's Go Fishing."
Mm.
Like the track of when the rocket's going and he's trying to reel up the probe and everything.
Yeah, that scene's super intense. It's probably one of the climaxes, but for me, it's the emotional climax of him going back and
Him
the
going back.
embrace where they're like, "I missed you." I don't know. Quality film.
So no, have you played Armored Core?
No.
6. I wanted to ask. Mo.
I was like, we're gonna go do an Armored
no.
Core
Well, because
review right now.
I didn't get to talk to
Here's
Mo
the
about
DLC.
this. The firmament. What's it called?
Huh?
What's
the Furman?
the red stuff?
Oh, the astrophage.
Astrophage.
The firm.
The firmament. No,
firmament.
that's flat Earth. No, the astrophage reminds me so much of. There's a special red fuel that's very, like
An Armored Core.
Armored Core that everybody's fighting over, and it can, like it's universe ending level. Like if it gets out of control, and it's like, and it's red, and I was like, oh. So I wanted to talk to Mo, and I thought maybe one of you guys would watch, but no.
Nope, never played Armored Core.
But I do like that
Astrophage.
concept of like a fuel that's actually dangerous.
It's a bioweapon.
Yeah, like in Armored Core,
I just
it's
played through Resident Evil. Bioweapon has a completely different context.
you learn that the fuel, it's called Rubicon, or no, that's the planet Coral. It becomes sentient if enough of it lumps together.
The fuel becomes sentient.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's kind of an interesting plot device.
but it constantly
In
is
Armored Core?
multiplying. Yeah, constantly
Hey,
multiplying.
Project Hail Mary. You didn't catch that part.
I was like, I missed that one.
Yeah.
And the only thing limiting it right now is that it's on a planet, the atmosphere. But if it were to go in a vacuum, it would infinitely multiply it. It's so sick.
Well, the whole concept here with
Sick.
Project Hail Mary is the sun is being blocked out. They're not necessarily, they said they're eating the sun, but I don't think that's actually the problem. The problem is they're literally shading Earth, I think, right?
No, they're eating it.
But they weren't having suns go black though.
They were.
I thought they were just dwindling to like basically dim, but
They're making the timeline for the sun faster of when it's going to expire because they're causing it to
consuming
go
the fuel.
consuming the fuel, which will make it go, into a red sun after, I think, and then after that, supernova.
Got it. I thought, I know they said they were eating. I just thought they were shading it because
No.
that was the
So-
primary problem.
And that's kind of the dark part of the movie at the end is,
How much damage was done?
well, we're the only two that survived.
Well, we could deploy this saving advice, So this astrophage, it's funny. It's kind of gimmicky, but basically, it lives on the surface of the sun, and it's this black substance. And then when it detects CO2, it basically shoots at the speed of light and goes and breeds where there's high CO2, and then goes back to the sun to gain energy. And so that's how they use. So that's the problem.
Jeez.
And how they do faster or speed of light travel.
Right.
And they saw all in the observable universe or observable part of our galaxy, all these suns were affected by it except for one.
Tau Ceti.
And that's where they went, and they found that this planet in particular had a lot of CO2 on it, but it had a specific bacteria that would kill the astrophage. So that was the fishing. They fished up some
The
bacteria from a cloud and got it.
As the spaceship
God.
almost fucking explodes.
Which, it's like you've got this amazing spaceship, but you wouldn't equip it with a thing to go down into an atmosphere. Like, you've built this spaceship that can simulate gravity, do all these things, support life for however long he was gone. But you didn't equip it with just like a little shuttle lander to go
Well, I
into
think
atmospheres.
That wasn't the purpose of it. The purpose was to go see
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Just look around
well, and then
you.
send the probe back.
But what are you probing? You could.
True, yeah.
You
how did he
literally
get-
would have to go.
How did he get any
Is he
data?
just gonna go and just go look around and go, oh yeah, fuck it, I don't know, go home? Like that was what was weird. There's a couple weird things.
This really
with it.
was a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
This is not working.
Did they ever explain why the people, his crewmates, died?
I was just gonna ask you that. He wakes up and all his crew's dead. My guess is they all woke up, and he was the last one. And they all woke up and then died.
Well, they were in their cryogenic beds.
Yeah, I thought maybe they laid down and died or something. But initially when I was watching, I'm like, I wonder if they were up and were like existed for a decade and then gave up, and then next crew. But that doesn't make any sense.
No, I think they died in
cryo.
But they never explained that maybe it hit a
Didn't need
meteor.
to.
Yeah, it happened. Don't worry about it.
Apparently, in the book, they explain it that the coma tech was extremely experimental, so the
Oh.
bodies could not withstand the risks of long-term induced coma. Ryland Grace had a rare genetic resilience to survive. That's why he.
Rare genetic. It's always a
Yeah.
rare genetic. But what's interesting though is when you learn
It was like a high statistical likelihood that it wasn't going to work at all. And,
And this was their Hail Mary?
they explained it
that's
in the book.
why it's a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
But the
Did
The
they
funny
not say
thing-
that in the movie?
they did. They made
kinda
that.
just-
Yeah.
okay.
Well, they didn't explain why they died, but they explained that it literally is a Hail Mary. Like,
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah. I don't. I don't know. There's a lot of other. Faster. If you were traveling the speed of light, you would. Doesn't the science work out if you're doing the math if you pencil it, it's basically you arrive when you leave because your clock slows down. So you wouldn't need cryo
Hold on though.
because you would just arrive when you left.
I'm pretty sure they said near speed of light speeds.
Yeah.
So-
But so it would be, that would mean, so if it's near, let's say, then that means your clock is ticking at 99% of
So,
the-
but I'm
so slow.
it would be slower,
So
but
you get there
it
in
would
a
still.
week.
Yeah, I don't know, Billy. I don't know.
I don't, who knows? Maybe the astrophage doesn't allow for something like that, or some weird side effect or whatever.
But really good movie.
Buzz knows.
According to the known science, this is all theoretical, of course. But according to
we have
according
astrophage.
to known science and our laws of physics and special relativity, cryopods or cryostasis would likely be unnecessary when traveling at the speed of light for
Yeah.
the exact reason that you're saying. So obviously right now there's no way to prove that, but it's just all science points towards the fact that you really wouldn't need.
something like that, especially from it accelerates. I mean, they were able to pivot so easily with this thing. It was a really powerful fuel source.
Tao said he's 12 light years away.
Yeah, so
So take 12 years, right?
fuck, just fucking stay away.
Stay
I
away.
know that's
12
That's
years is a lot.
crazy.
You know what? That dude in Interstellar did it for 17 by himself.
Yeah.
So,
true. And well, I guess he
was-
doesn't go back. He doesn't go back. Yeah.
No.
and
But
Matt Damon
that's
kills him.
That almost seems palatable. 12 years.
Yeah.
12 light years.
Yeah,
Well-
so maybe it is like 20.
If
Although
they're near
the-
light.
The lady was not that much older. She was older, clearly, but it wasn't like
Well, didn't she say
50
like
years
you'll
older.
get there in 15 years? She says the timeline.
hmm.
I just don't
So,
remember.
yeah, if you're going near light speed, then you would need cryo. If it's because space is so massively huge, right? I mean, even if you're going light speed, 12 years.
But if you're going 99%, then your clock is ticking 99% slower.
Yeah.
So like, what would it feel like, a week? You know what I mean? Like 1% of 10 years of travel would be one
Then you have to ask yourself also,
10
like,
days. You know,
at what point does real science make a story boring?
100%.
And
Yeah.
you have to just,
And
like,
like he had to come up with a reason for him to be alone out there.
yeah.
It was very clear that Earth was not ready to handle shit like this.
Yeah.
We did not have we
I
were
think in
baby
all sci-fi,
species.
there's a certain suspension
Liberty.
of disbelief that has to happen in order for it to be entertaining. If it was too realistic, then it just wouldn't be fun to watch.
But it was cool to see how the Iridian initially communicated that he built like little stick figures, and they were like throwing tubes to each other. But like they were the species is super cool because they're so mechanically inclined, which of course,
Really good comedy bits too. Like he throws it fast, and then
it's
he
like,
throws
they
it.
think we're dumb.
He throws it really slow because he's like,
He's like, oh, they think I'm stupid. and then he opens it up. He opens it up. He's like, oh yeah. He catches this thing and he goes back in his cabin. He's like, cool. He's like, oh, it's made out of xenon. That's really cool. And then he like opens it up and it like leaks this gas.
And
So
he
he's like,
sniffs-
fuck yeah. He
sniffs it first,
He
he's like-
sniffs it. He's like, what the fuck am I doing? He like throws it in this little hooded chamber thing and examines it, and he's like, "Oh, he made me a little puppet."
yeah.
And
But then they didn't know about radiation, which is an interesting sci-fi kick where you have aliens that don't know about certain.
but because he had Wikipedia on his laptop or whatever, he was able to build a haptic laptop, apparently with spare parts on, and give them the full share knowledge, right? The full, the full human catalog
Library.
of knowledge, yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, I felt like they were more advanced. But what's interesting is they were just way more mechanically advanced,
Yeah.
I think.
So that's what I was thinking. They probably were able, like they got to space travel so fast that they didn't have to solve these problems because they're like, fuck, we got a rocket, let's go. And plus they're rocks.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably so resilient to radiation that it was such an extreme that it never really came up.
So someone's actually done the math for this. I'm
For what?
still stuck on the time dilation thing.
Okay.
No.
Sorry. But if they are traveling at 90% light speed,
90.
90% of
Okay.
light speed, 12 light years would feel to them, due to the effects of time dilation, about like 5.8 years.
Okay.
And it would be to the observer a total of 13.3 years that it passed. So a 13.3 year trip to travel 12 light years
Like
would
to an observer that
So,
never
like,
left?
so
No,
on
on
Earth,
Earth.
Got it.
on Earth. So yeah, so 12 light years on Earth would look like it took them 13.3 years, and the person on the ship would feel like they were there for 5.8 years. If it's 99% light speed, that drops all the way down to 1.7 years. So like, if it's 99.99%, it's
Yeah.
2 months.
Got it.
So like, I don't know how near light speed it is.
Yeah. Because they didn't say, they just said it,
Yeah.
it brings us to near light speed. Speed.
So
So I
It-
brought it back to there for no reason. But
Well, that was-
yeah.
that was interesting.
It does get like exponential, right? As you, because the difference between 99
At light speed, it's
99.9
instantaneous.
Yeah.
Everything else, yeah.
God, that just maybe that's how we live forever. It's like, well, I'm kind
Solve.
of bored with wherever humanity's come up with. I'm gonna
Do
I'm
a
gonna
quick
just-
lap.
I'm just gonna do some laps at light speed for
Yeah.
a million years and
See what happens.
see what's going on, and and then you just immediately embark on that journey and arrive a million years later. That
And
would be freaky.
The
as
world's
hell.
gone. You're like, oh,
You're like, fuck, maybe that was a mistake.
I can't go back.
Space is
Damn.
so big though that like even if you have 99.99% light speed, if you're traveling between like galaxies, like you would need cryo still. Like it's
Oh,
insane
yeah.
how massive
Yeah.
space is.
Yeah, yeah, the math is not in your favor.
So one
A
thing
million light years away.
somebody else brought up that was interesting. Tau Ceti is a hot planet right now. I guess it's also in the game Marathon.
Oh,
That's-
it's a real place.
yeah, it's real. That's why I was able to look up where it is.
Oh, cool.
12 light years away.
We'll have to hit up our friend and see if we can see it.
Yeah, but the game Marathon, the new one that came out, takes place on Tau Ceti. And it's like,
Did you sponsor?
yeah, did Tau Ceti just invest in media right now? So did it
That's
buy
some horrible media.
Yeah.
Because it's like the most obscure. Like I wouldn't know that. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder why they. This guy, the writer, sounds like he probably is pretty particular. So he probably chose it for some kind of reason.
Yeah.
Because it had a cool name, maybe. But also, it's not. It had to be reachable, right?
Yeah.
It couldn't be like it's 10,000 light years away. Like no.
Well, like Interstellar,
So it
you got to
had-
go through a wormhole to get there.
So how many stars are actually?
Achievable.
Could you actually Google that? Like how many stars?
Are 12
Are-
light years away?
Yeah, are less than 12 light years away. I'd be curious to see what the results are. I'm gonna guess 6. Maybe I'm way wrong on that. Because the closest one's like 4 light years away, right? I think the closest one is not that crazy far away. But the real kicker is
36 stars within 12 light years.
that's crazy. Okay. And what's
Organized in
the
20
closest one is how far away?
23 different star systems.
Wait, what?
So,
So there's
some that
13
have
that have
multiple
2
stars.
stars?
The closest one would be 4.24
Yeah.
light years.
What's the name of that one?
Proxima
The
Centauri.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
And that's a red dwarf.
So it's already dying.
Yeah. So that's the thing, too. You got to find one that's not dying.
Well, in that case, if let's say we wanted to move humanity to that star, I think we could still make it work. We just have to be closer, right?
We could restart it.
Thor, get in there. Forge
right.
yourself a new weapon.
We just nuke it.
Nuke a nuclear.
Did you ever watch that movie Sunshine?
No.
Me neither. I feel like we would have great knowledge if we had seen it. It's got Chris Evans and they restart the sun.
Wow. Wow.
We could do it. If Chris Evans could do it.
It needs new material.
I don't know. I guess you would just need to be closer, but then
The Goldilocks zone is probably thinner, but
yeah,
you make it work.
wouldn't it be hotter?
I mean,
though?
at some point, well, as it dies, I think it expands because there's less gravity, right, to hold it in, and so you're kind of playing this weird game that like maybe the ultraviolet light is too aggressive then at that point. So, yeah, I mean, it's for life as we know it, it's tedious. But that's what the interesting thing was, that life could evolve without water. But then he kind of dispelled that. He's like, "Oh, it's made with a lot of water."
Yeah. So I guess Tau Ceti is the closest single sun-like star.
Okay, so there you go. That's exactly probably why he chose it.
Single
So
sun.
and that's 12 light years,
11.9.
11.9. That seems reachable in the vast scale of craziness. I mean, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
We get to the point where we can travel between the stars, which in that case we're creating like wormholes and we're traveling, we're expending incredible amounts of energy. Let me ask you this question. Is it easier to just build or to travel between all these different stars and do that? Or could we literally just build ourselves a planet? Like, we're talking about,
I think
we're having the ability to manipulate matter at a cosmic scale. Could we just not build a super Earth or multiple Earth-sized planets that all orbit? Because then think about it. One of the issue is like communication
yeah.
and stuff like that. What if you just had 4 Earths just in a line where you could have a low latency conversation with each
Well,
one?
I think it'd be a mixture of both. Like I think we would probably do that, but then we would also, because resources and
Yeah, but we could just
nobody, like some people don't, like you would have sections of people that do not want to do that. They want to go.
But if you had a wormhole, if you could create wormholes and that kind, you're talking about, you have basically and you can play with the energy of the sun, right? Which means that's how you create denser atoms. Is
Okay.
you fuse them together with more protons and and you basically are creating heavier elements. So if you have that thing, you could take Jupiter and say delete, and we're gonna or you take some other one that's not as consequential as Jupiter or whatever, but you take that and you convert it into whatever, like resources.
But why would you only stay here?
Well, because I guess what's the advantage of branching? Like, I could see that being a thing, but I feel like the way more interesting idea is having multiple Earths just orbiting right next to each other,
Well, that's
so
why I
that
said
you could have low latency. Because
I think it'd be both. I think there would be multiple systems with multiple, space station Earth type
Sure.
deals. Just because
I would agree with that.
I don't think like people would not be chill as much as we like to think they would. They wouldn't, being like only on a couple super Earths. No, they'd be like, I want my own super Earth way the fuck over there, so I don't have to deal with all you.
Yeah, you want like beachfront property, but now I want beachfront planet.
Yeah,
Like, I need my own planet.
I want a red dwarf as my sun,
Yeah.
not this bitch ass
Oh,
yellow
my
sun.
goodness.
But that'd be, yeah. I mean, at that point, I don't know.
I mean, you're talking about manipulating energy on a scale of the cosmos. I mean, you could literally convert entire planets into raw elements that you can use for other things and just build crazy ships and all these things. Like, it'd be pretty interesting to see.
Be
Could you
sick.
imagine looking into the night sky and you see 4 just Earths, sort of like they're like rotating Earth, and you could have different we could build them in such a way that it's like 70 degrees year round everywhere on Earth. There's no such thing as
See, but then there are people that
weather.
would want 80 degrees.
Oh, 100%. So you could customize like, hey, this one it snows all the time, so you can get your ski resorts in or whatever. You know,
The
like
ski
you could
resort
do,
planet.
yeah.
The
That's
whole
kind of
planet is
yeah.
perfect
It's
slopes.
a whole slope. You could
Fresh powder every day.
you get you fly in, you land at the peak, and it's a 7-hour descent down the tallest mountain ever, in the history of the universe.
That beat's
It's
practically
a
pretty sick.
50-mile high mountain that you just go down a different
Just
slopes.
one run.
I mean, because you could literally control everything.
Yeah.
And then there's like a rich planet, a poor planet. You have
Do the poor even get a planet? They work on the inside of the rich people's planets.
no, AI is going to work for everybody. Everyone's just going to have unlimited
But then-
resources.
The poor people need to be lesser than.
They need their organic material thrown into the furnace for fuel.
Yes, their bodies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or sleeves.
Like the Matrix, where they
Yes.
start using humans as batteries.
So Billy posed an interesting question.
So the idea is, if we get to the point where we can traverse the cosmos through wormholes, and we have that ability to, because the energy required to do something like that is like the equivalent of an entire solar system, right? I mean, you're talking about harnessing energy at a cosmic scale. The idea that the question I pose is, what if we, at that point, you could just convert matter into whatever elements you need? Because he's like, well, you need to branch out for resources, and I'm like, I don't think you can. If you're creating wormholes, which would be meaning you're collapsing the fabric of space-time.
If you have
because
the
you're summoning
ability,
a
I thought you were
gravity
just saying
event.
traveling through, but like having the ability to create wormholes.
Yeah, like you could create a wormhole to travel to a specific location. You could literally, in the thing I'm imagining, you could literally take Jupiter
Yeah,
and just be like, oh, we need titanium, and just basically collapse it down to where it's a perfect furnace to create the heavier elements, which is what happens on the sun, right? And then when they explode, those elements go
Okay.
everywhere. So we were kind of prophesizing that because people want to stay in communication and all these things, there would be like 4 Earths sort of orbiting right next to each other. So when you look in the night sky, you'd see all the planets, but on the furthest one away, you could still have a low latency phone call.
He's saying, what's the
between
point
two.
of exploring when you could just build super Earths?
If you control matter and energy at that level, could you not just like would more people just be interested in staying here and not exploring the universe if there was nothing interesting out there?
I think that even if there's, quote, like nothing interesting out there, I think there's going to be, no matter what, a certain population that would not be cool with just chilling.
I was saying.
That's what
You know.
there would be.
But I can very realistically see a large chunk of people that'd be totally cool in that 4-planet system.
Yeah.
And why only
would never-
4?
Exactly. And
Just
what
the
we were
whole
talking
system.
about, we could literally create these Earths where it's 70 degrees year round and
Yeah.
no weather to be spoken of. You just have these
Yeah.
perfect ecosystems, perfectly balanced as all things should be. Interesting. What?
I was doing the Thanos where you hold
Oh.
it on your finger, the blade. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't balanced.
Oh no.
Fuck! You got to go kill some more people.
So I saw you did a Spider-Man leaks. Are you plugged in more than we are?
No,
Yeah.
I just put that in.
I was like,
Oh.
leaks? What are you talking? There's leaks?
There's nudes.
Oh, Tom
Ah.
Holland.
There is
I knew you wanted to talk about
A
Spider-Man, but I
possible
couldn't
leak.
think of anything.
for Spider-Man possible that I have seen going around.
Uh-oh.
Sadie Sink from Stranger Things, the redhead.
MJ.
People think she's Jean Grey.
Oh, Jean Grey?
Because
I don't know
so there's
how I'd feel about that.
we have set photos of her in this outfit, right?
Mhm.
And suspiciously, a comic came out. Like there's a new comic out with Jean Grey in the same exact outfit. Now these set photos were leaked, so it's like not. These weren't official like photos, but
Right.
and people are saying
Maybe. I mean, I think they're going to keep a lot of that X-Men stuff on the back burner, like for Doomsday. They're really teasing it on Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
I don't know what approach they're going to take. If they just kill off all of the Fox universe X-Men, I'll be kind of bummed out because that seems like a huge missed opportunity. But they are recasting a lot of them, so we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna lie, like I love the X-Men. I like Jean Grey, but like I'm not. That's not something that is gonna
Especially-
like get me hyped or anything. Like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh my god, it could be
Class
Jean
5.
Grey, level 5 mutant, which she's extremely powerful when she's embodies the Phoenix Force, but when she doesn't, she's just kind of, you know, she
Xavier.
can move things around. Not even Xavier. I mean, well, depends on which iteration, but she's not nearly as powerful as Xavier, non-Phoenix Force. But
So she
So-
has to go to that Super Saiyan
yeah, pretty
level
much.
to be.
What about it being in a Spider-Man movie? Does she? I don't know much about X-Men. Does she fit in with Spider? Like,
Yeah, I
know
mean,
he interacts with them
he interacts
sometime.
in the comics. Everybody interacts with everyone.
Yeah.
It might just be like she's closer in age to him, so maybe they like it's more of a cameo thing, like because they work at the same place, like the Daily Bugle or something. I don't know. But I would not get my hopes too high that she's going to be anything significant in the story.
There was another thing too that when he gets like flung into a bus at one point, and there's
Yeah.
somebody inside the bus. They have Rogue's haircut, like style, with the white up front and the brown.
I think people are reaching.
Probably.
This was like when Multiverse of Madness, that people were like, Deadpool's
my
going to be in it,
God.
and Spider-Man, and this and that, and
It's gonna be crazy.
People need to chill.
let's temper our expectations. I think it's going to be a good Spider-Man story. The fact that we're getting confirmed, we know Punisher's in it, as well as the Hand, which
Yup,
is like the
which-
main villains of Daredevil. So it's likely that Daredevil might make an appearance as well. Scorpion, Man Spider is being teased, and that's a really cool arc.
Do you think they're doing the Man Spider arc or the Spider Totem?
I think they're going to do Man Spider.
Man Spider.
Because they're talking about DNA changes and
Yeah.
how like he's evolving, and that's what happens in the comic. And basically, he turns into like a villain for a little bit. Like, I would think that would be very entertaining if they went that route. That's enough for me to be excited. I don't need to be worrying about all this other speculation of X-Men and all this other shit. Like, what we've seen is enough, and what we've seen looks
I'm
really
hype.
good. Yeah,
I'm excited for it. You are too, right, Billy?
for a Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
What's funny is all the guys we went to go watch this movie with, Project
Yeah.
Hail Mary,
They all love
he
Spider-Man.
immediately was like, he hates Spider-Man. Everyone's you know, like up against me, and then
They all love Spider-Man.
But then I explained my position, and I got Adrian. He was like, "Yeah, I fucking hate Spider-Man now."
No,
He was hyping me up.
he's a yes man.
He was hyping me up. He was like, "You know what? He's 100% fucking right. I fucking hate Spider-Man." I'm like, "Thank you."
Spider-Man, he's a huge Spider-Man. nerd.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
just
think he
saying that.
didn't say fuck Spider.
He did sarcastically.
No,
But he literally did say fuck
You
Spider-Man.
misunderstood. He said, "I would fuck Spider-Man."
Yeah,
is what
probably
he said.
did say that.
But we got that coming out
Yeah,
before Dune.
it has a.
Oh, dude, December is gonna be packed because
People are already talking about how like they're gonna do like another Barbenheimer
Doomsday.
Doomsday is what he said.
thing. Yeah, Dune's Day with
Because they're the same
Doomsday.
day.
Same
I think
day?
Doomsday comes out on the same day as Dune.
Dude, we should totally do that.
I'm down.
I'm so down to do
I would. Yeah.
So
What would you want to watch first if we had the choice?
You know, if
I'd
you'd
probably-
asked me this question 5 years ago, I would have said save the best for last, and it would have clearly been the Marvel movie. But now I'm not too sure. Now I feel like Dune would
I
is
feel like
the
I want
better.
to do Dune second too.
Yeah,
I think Dune second.
Because
yeah.
Doomsday, it feels like the start of something.
It feels like I'm gonna have a good time,
Yes,
but it does not feel like Endgame.
exactly.
You know, like-
It's like this. It's like the start of a new arc, or the start of this, whatever this is, and then Dune is the completion of something. So it's like
Yeah.
you gotta end on that.
So do you think it's like we have Marvel executives and then the WB executives for Dune just big dick in it right now. Like, I'm not gonna fucking move my date. You
I
Yeah.
think there was probably some coordination with that, honestly.
I
because
think
of
it's
how
the opposite.
Barbenheimer-
Yeah, I think it's the
Oh, okay.
opposite. The
It's get people
Barbenheimer
to the
thing,
movies, you know?
they attribute the fact that Oppenheimer, as a rated R movie, the fact that it made almost $1 billion is crazy. They attribute a lot of that to the meme. And so I think it's the opposite. They're not big dicking it. I think they're working together.
They're hoping for it.
And
Yeah.
like the fact that there's already Doomsday, like
Yeah.
they're milking all. They're like,
Yeah.
make us
They can't
money."
officially advertise in that way, but you best believe that they are going to encourage this shit.
That makes sense.
because it's so easy to do like the day after or the day
Yeah.
before or the following week, you know.
Right.
But this is intentional. They're trying to collect on that hype because it's if Dune is so good, people get their fix for the movies and be done with it. If Dune is so bad, then they're probably like, I'm not going to the fucking movies, wasting another, you know. So you can't to do it on the same day makes so much sense, especially with all the synergy there. So
Yeah.
So we'll have to calculate that out. Run times. Be like, okay, if we do this showing,
They're both going to be
Yeah.
hella long, probably.
I know
It's going to be like
that's gonna be the intermission.
a
I
6
want.
hour event.
how do we do? Because it'll come out on a Friday, right? And then,
Yeah.
but it really launches on a Thursday. So
I
we
think-
go like 5:30 Doomsday.
I think
and
the
then
best
go to
way.
like 9, and then 9 to midnight Dune.
I think the best way to do it. Well, if we're doing it on launch night,
It's got to be because this guy will get every spoiler.
Yeah.
I will need to have the day off the
Yeah.
next day because we're gonna be there till late. If
So we
that's
should.
Oh yeah,
request
because
it
it'll be
now.
Thursday, right?
yeah,
We should request it now.
absolutely. Yeah.
What is the actual day? It's like 18th, is it? I think it's December 18th, right? Yeah. So we'll be able to watch it on the 17th, so a week before Christmas. So not taking time off to be with the family on Christmas, but taking
But
time
for
off
Doomsday.
for Doomsday.
It's how it should be, you know.
Perfectly
Is that the date?
balanced.
It's the 18th.
It is the 18th. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like it. That'll be
So
fun.
Down. You're on that I have kids schedule now, so you're like
Every decision I make is based on.
not sleep. How am I gonna
Yeah.
I need
Like,
at least 6 hours. Where am I gonna get it from?
well, even like
Because we're coming back
Again,
here at,
I'm not-
at midnight to do an episode.
Jesus
Just
Christ,
kid- maybe,
Jason
maybe.
Bourne. Oh my god.
Maybe we bring the setup and we do
I
a
think
live episode
in the theater
Yeah. Mid
during the movie.
So while we're
Let's
in line
buy
for pop,
all the
we-
tickets, and then just live record while watching.
just
we can afford that.
get,
That's
go
within
to
our-
fucking prison because we're live streaming.
Yeah, the movie right on the YouTube. It's incredible.
react. Wow. We
This
all
is
buy
for
like
use. This is for use because I'm
reflective-
commentating on it.
or we take the camera. We're looking. The camera's looking at us, so they hear the film, but they don't see it. But we all buy these big goggle glasses,
Reflective.
and people can watch it in our glasses.
Like, oh damn.
There was this React channel that I followed for a little bit. I kind of fell off of them, but when when Endgame came out, they reacted to it live while watching it for the first time because they watched it at the drive-in.
Did
Yeah,
was the audio there or no? Probably
audio is
not.
there. It falls under the same category. You could only have a certain amount. So like,
It has to be different enough.
yeah, they had like a 20-minute montage of all the highlights that they reacted to, but they watched it like at the drive-in. So you're sacrificing because drive-in's clearly not like the best experience for that. But like if you're a channel that's your whole thing, like that'd be like the perfect way to do it.
I feel this. What's your take on drive-ins? Because cars are not equipped to handle fucking drive-ins these days.
Yeah.
I feel like the hardest thing that takes a hit when you go to the drive-ins is the audio.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if you had a proper radio setup, you can make it great. But modern cars, like you turn it off, and in both of my cars, the radio will run for 15 minutes, and it'll just turn off if
Yeah.
if your car's been off. So I have to start it up, then turn it off. or run it or whatever, and all the cars like other
So you
cars have
just
to do that. So
bring
you
a
hear them
radio.
starting. Yeah, you have to
Bring
do
a radio.
but
and-
then you want. It's got to be bassy, like a movie like this. You know, you need to have the experience.
Just bring in like the
a
elite
full
setup.
stereo.
Just leave the car on the whole
I
time.
like
On what?
Leave the car on the whole time.
You're gonna be that guy, revving your engine to like keep the battery up.
I like drive-ins.
I do too.
I love the experience
too.
of it, but not for like movies I'm hyped for. Like it has to be like last time I went to one was a long ass time ago with you guys actually. We saw a Free Guy.
Yeah.
That was like the perfect kind of movie to watch there because it's
100%.
not like we were like, "Oh my god, Free Guy," you know, but
so
like
hyped for this.
it was like a fun, entertaining movie and it wasn't a huge deal that we were, you know, it wasn't like
You weren't gonna miss anything
4K.
if you miss
Yeah.
a line.
like yeah.
When we used to go as kids, my mom and dad had this awesome full stereo setup, and we would hook it up to. We had like this way to hook it up to the cigarette lighter, and we made it work, and it was great. Nobody has shit like that
Yeah.
anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know what you would
Drive-ins
do.
were such a fun experience as a kid.
We'd
Like
get there early.
we get
you'd
there
throw
early.
the football
You
or
play in that
something,
little sand pit area
Yes.
in front of the screen before the movie came out.
play tag, and then it's getting dark.
You buy like toxic food from the snack vendor in the middle.
Yeah,
like,
dude. And then you watch the first film, and you do everything you can to convince your parents to watch the second
Yeah.
one too.
And you'd always fall asleep.
We
like,
can watch it, I swear.
But how awesome was that? Like, it was like you the way you perceive it is the second movie's free,
yeah.
even though you're paying for it. But
Yeah.
what just so much fun. They're just so great. But the audio, I wish there was like you could pull
My
up those,
parents
like
now-
you could rent something.
I'm like getting all these memories triggered now. I remember like my parents had this pretty decent sized Ford Expedition, and
yeah.
my dad used to back it up and then open up the back
Mhm.
and like set like cushions and stuff because you could lay all the seats out and so it's completely flat. And yeah, he had like a stereo system too.
Yeah.
You'd plug in, and it maybe wasn't. Now that I'm like, I mean, if I were to listen to it now, it probably wasn't the best sound quality, but as a kid, like it was perfect.
But I bet you that setup is
Yeah.
better than what you could have today with a modern vehicle because they're so protective of you draining your battery.
Yeah.
You even like Google it and it's like, you really can't do anything with it. And it's like, there's not even like a drive-in setting where press the brake 8 times and starter 4 and you're in drive-in setup, you know?
Enter the cheat code.
Yeah. I
Up,
should
up,
be able
down,
to
down,
drain
left,
my
right, left, right.
battery. I should have. This is
I
like,
should have the
This is like
freedom.
an ick of mine of all.
This is America.
Hardware. I should have full control over my hardware. So there should be a way for me to go in, and everything's got a fucking touchscreen now. I should have a setting on my car to say
That's right.
drive-in setting or fuck my battery up. You know, like I should be able to hit that and do what I want. Lights off.
And then
You can't even control your lights. The ones they're like hardlined in. So like you start your car up and then you turn it off. You have to wait 5 minutes of the 15 minutes is the light on, and you're like, this is fucking terrible, man.
you get into the subscription services for your car.
Car warmers.
The fact that your own vehicle has a paywall,
Exactly.
and you're like, "Are you serious right now?"
One of my coworkers, remote start, he has to pay monthly subscription or he has to pay subscription. And I'm like, for a feature that already exists in your car,
Well, this one's worse. Like actually the subscription's worse. But Tesla did a study. It was more expensive to decide whether or not like a car should or shouldn't have the ability to have seat warmers. And so they just manufactured every car with it, and then if you bought it with that feature, they would unlock it.
Oh,
So
I hate
every
it. I
car
hate it.
has
hate
it
it.
in there, but you don't have access to it. So like immediately
mean-
people are jailbreaking it.
yeah, I'm sure you can jailbreak it. Like I've looked. So my truck does have the ability for remote start, but I have to buy this little device and install it. Because I'll click the lock button 3 times and it goes like it's gonna do something, but it doesn't. I'm like,
Pathetic.
interesting.
You have all hardware, it's just sitting there.
Mhm.
Just needs that 8 lines of code.
Annoys me. And like you said, you should have the freedom. I bought it.
I'm starting to.
Mine, goddammit.
You know how I know I'm getting old? Because I'm
everything's
starting to
pissing
get
you
a
off.
real nostalgia for like the early 2000s for some reason. And it's like why am I so like I'm like see all these like videos and
Moon
stuff.
boots.
I'm like moon boots. I could never have fun in those. I had some, and like they did shit.
I never had them.
I was like-
This wasn't just like they're like
They were like plastic like shoe boxes.
but you could jump high.
and
That was the
there's
idea.
bungee cords in the middle so you could walk but you got
It was
no
nothing.
air. It was not like it was, you know.
Then you had the
Rock'em sock'em boppers.
yeah, rock and there you go.
The
Rock
inflatable things.
poppers.
Oh, those were awesome.
Yeah, the
Those
inflatable
awesome.
Hulk
things.
fists.
What do you get nostalgia over though?
Just in general, like I like pre-phone era. Like I miss certain aspects about what life was like when I was a kid that I'm afraid that my kids won't have. That's the only thing. I'm not saying that my life is better than it is now. That's not what I'm just feeling like early 2000s, and this is how I know I'm old because I'm thinking this way.
Yeah.
But like early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, my generation as a child feels like that was a better generation to raise kids in.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, better's carrying a lot of weight there. I don't know if it objectively is better, but I would agree with you. There is something to be said about having that human connection. I think the world is so void of. And I've actually this is one thing that I've been thinking about doing for years. I just never. I don't know if I'm ready for it or whatever, but I
Time
want to
machine.
host.
He's going back.
I don't know if I'm ready for it because it's irreversible.
Are you ready, boys? You going with me? I'm gonna fuck your lives. Is hosting like an old school salon, which way back in the day, a salon was a place where people would gather and discuss ideas and have like intellectual discussions, and that's why they call them salons today. Like, but we think of them as like day spas and getting your hair or your nails or whatever women do.
Whatever
What the ladies do.
the fair sex.
But salons were like way back when were parties where people got together and shared ideas. And I've had this idea of hosting a salon style party and making it where I collect everybody's phone before they walked in. Not even
Why not?
not even where
I don't know if I'm
you
ready
like,
for it.
oh, I'm gonna keep it in my pocket. Like it's actually out of your pocket because
They
people
come in and you just destroy it.
you will buy a new phone.
You might take a hammer.
But like you
God, why?
actually put them away so like no one can nervous tick, pull it out, or no one can be like, I just need to look up what this word is or what this. No, you don't have the escapism to go to that phone. People have to actually have conversations, communicate, and share ideas, and just have like an old school party. And I kind of want to create that atmosphere. I heard someone talk about it on a podcast years ago where they would bring in the guest list was always sort of they had like their core group, but then I'm talking about like this guy like had a Rolodex of people he could bring in. Like obviously I'm not like inviting over like, oh, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Like no. But
Bill.
they would bring in different people over, and then they would have like discussion topic ideas of like, you know, things that you could bring up and talk about for the evening. Nothing where it's, hey, nice to meet you. So what's the Iran situation like?
What are your
It's
thoughts
not-
on
It's not
abortion?
forced like that. It's very organic where it's like, hey, here's some discussion starters if you want to meet new people or whatever. And I've thought about hosting a party like that. Maybe it's not that
Like
extreme.
a Greek philosophy
Basically,
session.
that's
like
where the salon-
Plato and yeah.
We
That's
get
where the
olive
term
oil,
salon came from.
olive oil,
And
lube.
but you have you got
Condoms.
great wine, you got a great
They didn't have that
charcuterie
back
board, and you just
Sheepskin
go
condoms.
share ideas.
Yeah.
And I love that idea because
Do it.
I don't think it's enough to say no phones because people will still have it in their pockets. It needs to be taken.
Well, it's like the key jar, right? Like how some parties have that, where you throw your car keys in a fishbowl.
Mm-hmm. But I don't even want I don't want the the escapism of, hey, I just need to look up the name of this.
You take their phone, you take their
A
keys.
totally organic, what is in your head conversation, and you just have a good time. And I've thought about doing a party in that style, and I honestly think now that I'm raising a family, I think I'm gonna have no technology Sundays as a rule of thumb,
Yeah.
where we'll watch football because that's Jesus's thing, but but we'll no phones, no minimal screen time if we can avoid it, and
Why not Saturday?
we do something active. Well, Sunday's always been
too much.
family day.
Too much.
Yes, you're getting a little out of hand.
All
Lock
right.
it down. All right.
Calm down.
In fact, I'm gonna take this now. You've been a bad boy.
No!
But like Sundays for me has always been the family day. That's always the rest and recovery day. That's the day you don't do anything, you don't go anywhere, you stay at home, you can reset for the next week.
That's
To me, it's
the
most
Christian
organic.
in us, how we
Yeah,
were raised.
I know, it totally is. But I like that tradition. And so I think I'm gonna probably do something like that and hold myself accountable too. No phone. Like the phone
Yeah.
goes away. Like we have
I apply
real
this, I would
conversations.
apply the same rule to my kids as I do to like my team at work. I don't set any rules that I myself don't follow.
How do you do the phone thing at work?
I really don't care.
Yeah.
I
feel like that's the modern
only
era.
time I ever get involved is if I feel like it's affecting their work in some way. But like I am not the kind of person that's gonna go to them and be like, put that phone away. Like I don't give a shit if you're on your phone.
What was your first job? What year?
2012.
2012 and 2011 for you? 2012? No, 2012?
2012. I was 17.
I started working in 2011, 2010?
10, 11?
Yeah, I don't quite remember
Six,
like
seven.
how it actually worked.
Because we thought you were loaded because you worked for
I
at
was
least a
rolling.
year that we
I
didn't.
spent $76 on Gatorade. Okay. I'll always remember that ticket price because these guys were like,
$76.
holy shit, he bought candy. It was like $70.
We
It
had
was
a 3-day binger in my pop-up tent outside my parents' house.
awesome.
He bought a shit ton of junk.
Candy fucking bullshit.
And we were like, he's so loaded. And then we played Call of Duty for 3 days
I played
straight.
all the campaigns. I don't know why the fuck I did.
Anyways.
What was I just saying? The fuck? Oh, I was when we all started working then, I thought maybe you were a little later, but when we all
You're
started
just late in
working,
life.
Yeah.
I thought it's a little slow, maybe he thought about the military for 7 years and then no. That was so not the case. It was such a faux pas.
Oh, yeah. You did
to
not
go on
touch
your
your
phone.
phone.
Like I remember working in the restaurant.
I don't know
business,
if you worked with like
you did not touch
a
your
bunch of
phone.
people your age, but the people I worked with, you touch your phone, you got to write up.
Literally.
Papa
Yeah.
Murphy's, they were pretty chill. Our manager we had, because he was probably like late 30s, so he understood.
But
Like
I couldn't imagine you're on the line. Like you don't make the pizzas in the
No, no.
back, right?
Well, I mean, his rule was phones only behind in the back.
Okay.
So
We
back of
couldn't
the
even have
house.
phones in the back.
So like if you went out
I
to the
very
line,
vividly remember like having to go upstairs in the storage
your
area
locker.
to like look at my phone, which was like I don't know, an iPhone 4 era maybe around that time, and I remember very clearly having to hide. I couldn't be in the back and look at, like I had to sneak, and I'd be
It's so
only person I would text would be like him or his brother. Be like, when am I coming over tonight? Like, but like,
not sexual.
well,
Now it's not even like you don't even think about it in like a negative light. Really, it's just they're
Yeah.
doing something or whatever.
I will
moving
say
on.
that amongst my peers that are in the same position I am, like that they have a team that reports to them and stuff. There are some that are very much still do not touch your phone, but it is
Wow.
dependent on
Yeah,
age.
it is
100%.
interesting.
Mhm.
That is interesting because
Yeah.
for me and I work remote, so it's for like I don't have an office culture, but
Someone's gonna pop
I
up on
do.
your computer screen. Hey,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like I could do so much from my phone. It's like almost a work
Yeah.
object now.
But
it's just interesting
that's
to see
the
how
thing
much
too.
that's
I'm
changed.
expected. So I have my work email, all my reports. I have everything on my phone.
That's fucking
Um,
nice. The reports too.
Yeah, I have access to
That's
everything. There's
sick.
nothing that I could see at work that I couldn't see on my phone.
That's really nice.
And so all the managers, the expectation is that you have your phone with you and you're looking at things and you're constantly like jacked in. So again, I don't set rules if if I'm not following them myself. I'm not going to set a rule that you can't touch your phone because then that means I can't touch my phone and I'm on my phone a lot. Like it doesn't mean I'm not working, but
Yeah.
I constantly like am looking at things, like
Mhm.
talking to my wife if I need to, and then working in between. And I've never once felt like that's hindered my work. Now I don't touch it if I'm like talking to somebody or like
Of
it doesn't
course, there's still
interrupt. Yeah,
decorum that you have
like
to,
there's
yeah.
still like things I do, but like I'm not gonna go around and say you can't charge your phone and then turn around 5 seconds later and text my wife something. Like,
But you want to talk about a 180? I feel like that is just culturally has totally flipped. Even just the perception
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
I would say that like younger millennials, and certainly older Gen Z, are very much of that mindset. They don't really care about the phone thing. Older millennials, Gen X, and Boomers are like still like don't touch your phone at work.
How dare you?
Yeah.
So Billy, your idea for the salon reminded me of I have a client and
that wants to go to your salon.
no, they are
He's a dirty boy that needs to be.
no, it's just it's funny. He's an older gentleman, and when I say older, he's like 80.
So older.
He wants to open a old style pharmacy where they sell like ice cream, sodas, and
Oh, that sounds amazing.
That does sound amazing, dude.
Yeah.
I freaking
Like
miss...
old fashioned soda with the
Yeah.
syrup.
Do you remember the local Rite Aid? Every time I
Yeah.
drive past that building, I dream of their ice cream that they had.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Not even that Rite Aid?
Unironically,
You know
it was
what?
good.
What pharmacy that my parents actually got medication from, but also they had like, for some reason I remember they had like ice cream and they had like apple juice. That was like really good, and the glasses that looked like apples.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
And it was, you know where the Rayleigh's is?
Yes.
It was like in that shopping center.
Really?
There was a now it's like a realty place. It was right across the way from the bank. That was
Okay.
right there. And there was an old timey pharmacy there that my parents actually, when I was a little kid, actually got their medication from there. It was before pharma became like this big
Wow.
tech thing, or not tech, big,
Where Blockbuster
mega
used
corporation. No,
to be? No.
no, I don't think it was in that same shopping center
Okay.
that DV Depot was.
Yeah, yeah.
Where I told that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that shopping center.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Old school then.
Yeah, old school.
Wow.
My dad bought a gun at a pharmacy when he was young.
America.
I need some Advil and that 350 pistol back.
That Magnum is looking real nice.
Give it to me.
I mean, we've come totally full circle on shopping. I mean, you read about how shopping, the grocery store was in the 1800s. You went into a building that had all your whole ingredients, your
Yeah.
flour, your sugar, whatever, and you gave the list to a clerk at the counter, and then they got and weighed everything and portioned it, and then gave you your stuff. Like you
Yeah.
didn't do your shopping, they did.
Now
Yeah.
it's
And now it's flipped, and now we're back to it with delivery. It's like,
Do you remember,
shop
like,
for me.
I'm still talking about nostalgia stuff now, but remember like the old Walmart on Northtown?
Yes.
That fucking Walmart had everything. Like you could even do your like
Dude, it
they
was
had
it was a superstore.
it wasn't. It was not. It had everything but a grocery store.
Yeah.
It was the old timey Walmart, but it had
Yeah,
like
you're right.
it had a a professional photo studio. There was
It
fish
did.
for some reason that were there,
Yeah.
like aquariums, electronics. There was a mechanics shop, like you could do tires and get your car fixed on the side. Like,
Wow, I
there
totally
was
forgot about the photo studio.
yeah, the electronics. There was like neon everywhere, and like you could actually play on their box TVs.
Yeah.
And I saw
There's
this
so
video
much of
that
that
like
stuff's
had this
gone.
like old Walmart like footage, and I was like, it like all came flooding back
You're
to
like,
me, and I'm like, wow, like Walmart used to be way cooler than it is now. Now, arguably, the
Dude,
Walmart,
it was
Walmarts
awesome.
now have more than what they did back then.
Yeah.
It just felt like a better experience back then.
I hate Walmart right now.
It was awesome back then because you could go. I remember actually like wanting to go because you'd walk in and be like, I'm going to the electronics section. You bolt with your brother
Yeah.
and you just play games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot that. Wow.
They had like a fabrics
You're right, it
craft
wasn't a
section
grocery
that my
store.
mom used to go to. Like,
Dude.
but it had everything but groceries. It was before, and I remember when the first Super Walmart came in Spanish Springs, and that one had the grocery store, and that one blew everyone away. Like, oh my gosh, this Walmart is crazy. But now, looking back,
Take me back.
take me back. And I miss, like, Target had like pretzels and popcorn.
Yeah,
and,
I remember walking around with popcorn at Target.
Yeah,
I think
like
they still do the popcorn.
neon everywhere.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Do
They would
they do
have
popcorn?
Yes.
they would have it like in the
Like a movie theater style.
yeah, and they would have it ready to go. Like, and you didn't. I think it was free, or it was really cheap. Now it's as
You
expensive
probably pay
as
for it.
yeah. I remember because that's where I used to go. Me and my mom would go to Target and we'd walk around. We'd do the loop, and I'd
Yeah.
get my little icy, and I'd be like, "Can I get a toy?" You know.
See, this is what I feel like we've lost because we've
Yeah,
become
and
such a
food,
litigious.
like food court in Target that looked like that.
I remember that actually.
Yeah, like
Whoa.
This is where we've
Old
become such a
McDonald's.
litigious
Yeah.
society where everyone's worried about everyone suing each other, because I feel like those places, like even McDonald's, you'd go,
Yeah, the
You-
old
you
McDonald's
just have
was-
like all the playrooms everywhere, and now
Yeah.
they've gutted
they
those left
slowly
and right.
got rid of all of them.
they had
and-
personality.
They had so much personality and
I hate the boring
don't know.
design of everything now too. Everything looks so
hollowed
Bleak.
out.
yeah, like
Yeah.
minimalism and like just dull colors.
Efficient.
Yeah, like I like McDonald's when the chairs look like hamburgers and everything's bright colored and clowns and shit. And they have play
Hamburglar was like,
places.
"Ah."
yeah.
But I feel like there's
Now it's
such
like
a...
you can't tell the difference between a McDonald's and a coffee house. Like,
you really
why?
can't.
What is the reason?
No, McDonald's probably wants to be a coffee house.
The way they're charging now too. Fucking $15 I paid for breakfast
Their
the other day.
CEO can't even eat a hamburger.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that was so
Mm.
funny.
Why would you do
That's a
video
big
like
bite.
Yeah, like
And
you
it's like
can't
the
you
tiniest
can't
size
fake it. Like you're a billionaire. You can't fake it for
And then
a vid- one
did you see
video.
all the follow-up videos?
all the other CEOs
Like
hella
Burger
trashing
King,
him.
he's in his apron and he's rolled up sleeves. He's like,
Just destroys the burger. He's like, no, that's a burger.
Oh god,
Yeah.
what a stupid trend.
Billy, I felt if you watch those two and you watch the Burger King, you'd be like, that's a man.
Yeah, that's man.
I could see you saying that.
America. But there's such a market. I've thought about this of creating kind of like a charcuterie bar, wine
Salon.
lounge kind of thing. Yeah, but like as a business model, but having like a room for kids, so you could go as a parent, you could go
Get
and do
sloshed.
something. Well, that's an element of it.
Come on,
But
child.
You,
Let's
you
go.
could
Play.
have daycare like on site, not daycare, but like just a place for your kids to go and rip. I feel like this was not. You go to Walmart, you went to the electronics section, you went and played. You went to McDonald's, you had this whole playout. Like parents had the ability to just kind of go do your thing. Give me a fucking minute here, and
Yeah.
it's like we don't have any of that shit at all.
Right.
And I think it's, again, the story of, well, little Timmy hurt his bum and McDonald's is
suing
gonna
you.
pay. And it's like, what? Some kid crawled in there with peanut oil on his hands, and my kid had an allergic reaction. McDonald's is gonna pay me $10 million, and it's who the fuck knows what story triggered
Right.
it, but that happens once or twice, and everything gets hollowed out, or even just the perception of that happening. All that cool stuff gets hollowed out. Now shopping experiences are fucking bleak, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Parks.
what's the coolest store now? Fucking Dutch Bros. Like what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they just fucking come,
Hey, guys,
geeked
how you
out.
doing?
What's up, man? Ready for the fucking caffeine? Like that is that the best experience we could do in 2026? I don't know what I can't even think of
I
a
miss
shopping
like
experience.
old 90s mall aesthetic too. Like Park Lane Mall before it got torn down.
Oh yeah.
Like I like the design of everything. I remember there's this cool little slot car place at Park Lane Mall. I had my 10th birthday there. I still remember it. And you literally just control these little cars that
One of the
went around.
coolest things ever.
Yeah, I was like,
You just rip.
yeah.
I don't even remember if you steered. You just
You
held
literally
forward.
just held it, and you were like, "Yeah,
Fuck yeah! I think it was on a track and it just ripped.
yeah."
I don't think
Only
we
thing
did
you had to do was
anything.
kind of let off during the turn, so
Yeah.
it didn't
That
flip
was like
out.
it,
Yeah,
right? I remember that store. I don't know. It's just so many things have just been hollowed out of that richness and it
Well,
just,
like
I
even the
don't know.
stores at the mall now.
even the mall is
Metalwood.
boring.
Yeah.
The
The
design of
Mall
everything.
sucks.
Like I remember going as a kid, going to a Disney store.
every store looks the
Yeah,
same.
Disney store, the toy store that was massive, the World of Toys.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was
I mean,
called.
to be fair, they are bringing back. They have but it's more themed towards like comic book nerds.
Yeah.
But they are, they're adding that store, which does have toys and comics and stuff.
Or just-
They have added the cool e-bike thing that kids can ride around on and stuff,
I
but
don't know,
that's
but
all
like-
paid. But
like toy stores in general, like
Did you guys
Toys
ever
R
go-
Us.
Yeah, Toys R Us, KB Kids.
I just had
Yeah,
a
like-
conversation last week with my dad of how cool that store was. For
There was
him.
something magical as a kid walking
Yeah.
in there and just seeing toys as far as the eye can see, and you're like,
They literally had like an on-site daycare where if
Yeah.
you had a young kid that you didn't want to like walk around the store, you could
Yeah.
put him in the
Throw them in there.
throw them in there, and they could just rip, and then your other older kids can go and like shop. Do you remember the bike section at
Yeah.
Toys R Us, and then the video game section? Like
I got my
I spent hours in there.
one of the coolest experiences I had as a kid was I really wanted a GameCube, and when that came out, I was like, I don't know, fucking 6 or 7, and I remember it came out, and my dad and mom took me to Toys R Us, and like I bought a GameCube there with a bunch of games, and then like the whole experience of it, it's just buying. It's nothing special. It's
Yeah.
just buying, but like just doing that at Toys R Us,
What an
and you're
experience.
around, and it's so awesome, and like you get it, and you're all excited, and now you would just buy it online. You wouldn't
Yep.
even like
Yeah.
go into a place to.
I bought my first bike. It was a Huffy, I think, at Toys R Us, and I remember you go into that section, it had all the bikes, and like legitimately, they had like this loop that you could ride the bike around, and it was designed with the mind that your kid could get on it and like ride
Yeah.
in this loop. Now it wasn't like you go ham, but it was
Yeah.
you could ride it.
It was a track.
were
I
just
remember
so
it was
chill.
a track that was like taped onto the floor
Yeah.
with some kind of adhesive. Yeah.
It was just big, and it was just like, hey, this is a place where you can have fun. And I remember there was a couple times I think my mom literally would like drop me off in the Toys R Us because she'd go next door to this teacher store.
The parent teacher aids.
Yes.
I remember that's what.
And
Yeah.
she would go in there for fucking 2 hours, and I remember I spent like an entire afternoon like, which Pokemon do I want? Which
I
one?
can only have
I
one.
can- exactly. She said I could buy one, so I'm like, and then you're playing on the Game Boy, and you're like, this one's the old one. I don't want it. That's where I bought the crystal, and I literally remember that experience of playing that game, going, this game's.
I also,
This is
yeah, I
it.
remember I bought Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green at Toys R Us.
I would always go to the McFarlane toys section to look at Spawn.
Yeah, and you're like,
sick
this
he
is
was.
So,
I know, I was
looks
like,
so
whoa.
awesome. Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, they had like the McFarlane
Yeah.
Venom.
Venom.
I got a Venom action figure from that section too.
Did you guys go to Toys R Us when they were closing?
No.
I went in with my wife, and
You cried.
no, I didn't cry. It was weird.
He weeped.
It was a weird experience to go in there because the old Toy Story was clearly dead. It was a shell of what it was, but they had brought down like all these old signs and stuff, and they were selling the memorabilia. And I remember thinking, like, I'm talking 6 feet tall and 20 feet wide.
Yeah.
Like, what's the Tyson, or like whatever the big kids toy brands are. I can't
Yeah.
think of one, but just like huge branding logos, and I'm like, man, some collector can come in here and just clean up because this would be so cool to have. But it was a weird experience because all the stuff, the kid area where you could leave your real young kids at, that was a fucking a cart return now. Like you just stored your carts there. Hell, even the grocery store your brother worked at had a fucking children's area in that little hallway. I remember we'd go to there, and I would go sit down in there, and my parents would do the whole shopping, and we would just rip. It was like
It was like a little arcade
Yeah.
area that was in between the store and the parking, like the sidewalk.
yeah,
Yeah.
just basic shit,
Yeah.
and none of that exists.
Remember they had free games at Red Robin?
Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Every
I'll never
Tuesday,
forget.
yeah, you played. There's a free arcade. And I remember playing like a Nickelodeon racing game.
Played the Marvel game. I loved going there for that one, and the Aliens versus Predator.
Yeah,
I-
and now
It was the best.
only thing I can get my daughter is a balloon. Because she loves it. Don't get me wrong, but
She
Fucking
doesn't know.
she doesn't know.
She doesn't know the euphoria when you realize it's Tuesday and you're at Red Robin. You're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute,
You remember
I'm at Red Robin.
free games.
Remember the Pizza Hut in Sparks that we go to all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time, and then in that
Oh,
back
yeah.
area they had that arcade.
That was that one game that we played on repeat.
Yeah,
Forget the name of it. But
You guys go to
Gauntlet,
Chuck E.
Dark
Cheese?
Legacy.
Did you guys
What?
go to Chuck E. Cheese much?
I did.
I was never a Chuck E. Cheese kid.
No.
No.
I
was-
went. I went.
Definitely.
Yeah,
But I probably been there.
that's
less
when
than
I
5
played my
times.
first mech game. I remember they had Mech Warrior 4 Vengeance, and it was like this, like kind of like you were like in this like dome thing, and it had like this kind of movement and stuff with it. It wasn't like great,
Hell
but it
yeah.
moved
For
enough.
a kid.
Yeah, and I remember like I would just play that for hours, and like there'd be some kid trying to play too, but I wouldn't be dead yet, so you had to wait.
You're like, no,
Like,
I'm living.
Man.
Did you guys ever go KB Toys or KB Kids?
I was
in
definitely more of
Northtown.
a Toys R Us kid growing up than I was a KB. I had been there, but
What?
I always liked that one because I found some weird toys there that, like,
of course, some Japanese toy.
This one
you couldn't sell.
probably, you know.
Yeah.
No, this one
Dance Dance Revolution.
I remember, and I'll have to look it up. It was this whole line about these like eyeball creatures, and like this one was dressed like a samurai, and they had the big eyeball in their chest, and they were all like,
kind of remember this. Yeah.
yeah, and it was like, I don't remember what it was from, but I found one, and I was like, oh, sick, and I could never find any of the other ones because I think I found one that I was like, oh, he's cool, but and then I looked on the back, I was like, but I want this one,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Nope. I feel like objectively the experience is better for kids that go to arcade games today. They're more expensive, but of course it is. But like you have your card, you have your points on there,
Yeah.
and you have your tickets on there. But I really believe something is lost when you get that $2, from your mom or dad, and you get the coins in your hand. and
Yeah.
You're like,
And you
I
have to
have 8
tokens.
coins.
Yeah.
I've got 8 or tokens. I have 8 tokens, and this game takes 2. I don't want to play that game.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
Or getting
this is
actual
12.8 points. What does that mean?
getting actual tickets
Yeah.
too, where they'd spit them out at you, and it
you had to shove them in your
it
pocket.
made 100 tickets feel so much like cooler than like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I guess it's on this
And
card.
or
now.
you see that one kid that found like some hack on a machine is just printing tickets. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
This guy could buy a
Or you'd
car.
see some like random 50-year-old like Asian dude that had
Dialed
like
in.
5,000 tickets from like the basketball game, like, and you're like, hope this guy's a legend.
But I feel like there's this whole math that would happen. You're like, okay, I have 8 tokens. What games do I? You would almost scout it out. Be like, okay, that takes 2. That plays 1, but that looks fun. Okay, I'll play this game 3. You know what I mean? But now it's you buy $100 worth of credits. Each game is so randomly priced, and the points don't or the credits don't translate to dollars, so you can't do the math easily in your head.
Right.
I think there's something, and it's intentional obfuscation on their part. They don't want you to like be able to easily calculate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it's something's lost because I don't think there's like a scarcity element as a kid where you're like, all right, I got $2. What game am I gonna play? I'm gonna fucking squat on this thing because this one's the best game ever.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, and you're not doing that math. I think there's something lost there.
And then like I remember if you got really good at a particular game too, like crowds would start to form.
They'd watch you.
Yeah, there'd be like people that would kind of slowly like just kind of stop and watch.
That was it.
Yeah, Yeah, I had those too. They were called
Oh my God.
Jagan Fighters.
yeah,
I
Dragon Fight.
100% had that exact one, I
Yeah.
think.
And they had like the
I've seen
big
it in
ones,
your
but they
room.
had like the little block ones
And
too.
the eye spun.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
Looked like a Power
100%.
Ranger.
I had like 100 of those.
Yeah, here's the little ones.
Yeah, I had all of those. And I used to have like an imagination that like if I like threw them on the table, they would come to life and like fight and shit. Yeah, like
I summon!
yeah.
I did too. I used to have an imagination. Okay.
I used to have an
grew
imagination.
up.
That's gone.
And that's it.
I don't know if you guys remember this,
Fuck 2026.
but there was like a line of little figurines. They were called homies,
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
and they were like
They had the big feet.
all like little gangbangers
Yep.
and cholos and like,
Yep.
Remember the
and you collect them all, and they were called they were like
With
little
the Z, right?
homies with a Z.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe it was just the S. Yeah, it was just the S. But I remember, like, my sister, especially, my older sister, was obsessed with those, and she had like 100 of them. And like,
Wow.
it's such a weird
Niche thing.
niche thing, but like, I bet you
This
they're
was-
valuable now.
This was our Beanie Babies.
you see the tech. Do you remember tech decks, tech dudes, or whatever?
The Boo Boos. What?
The tech decks.
Tech decks?
And then they had the tech dudes that you
Yeah.
would put on the tech deck.
Oh.
That were like thumbs.
And they were all themed. Like
Yeah.
there was a Rambo tech dude. There was
Yeah.
like
And my older brother ruined that for me because I thought that was so cool. And then he used to laugh and say that they were penises.
And that's that.
And I was
like
like,
it's over.
he's like, hey, Kyle, you playing with your little. I'm like, 7. And he's like,
You're like,
you playing with your little dick? Like, I remember being so angry as a little kid that he would say that to me.
I remember I had a little skate park with Tech Deck, and I would just.
Could you actually do it? Like kick flips?
I
No.
never.
I could ollie, but it was really gimmicky how I would
Yeah.
do it. But I could ollie. That's about it.
I could never actually do it. I never spent enough time. Like,
Yeah.
I, growing
was
up, like,
really skateboarding.
I could get it.
honestly, you
I could
joke,
jump.
but like,
Yeah.
I remember my thought process being like, that's nerd shit. I really skateboard.
100%.
Yeah, like,
I had a little half pipe and like a little thing to grind, but I could ollie. But it got
I
to a
cheated.
point where
Whenever I play with those, I would just grab it.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly.
pretend like I was.
100%.
Now,
Like, I was not
Beyblades.
trying to get good at.
I had
you know.
Beyblades. I had legit Beyblades that had metal
I
in
had a
it.
Coliseum
Yeah.
that I would take over to my friend's house and we'd let her rip and we battle.
You
3,
would
2,
say
1,
let it
let it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what they
That's
said
what
in
they
the
said
anime.
on the TV show.
They go 3, 2, 1, let it rip, and they would throw. And then in the anime, they would literally be like fighting in these mega arenas, and like monsters would come out of the Beyblades and start attacking
My
each other. and
algorithm
shit.
will still feed me a Beyblade thing every once in a while, and it's like, why is this still a thing? It's
As a
still
kid,
fucking thing.
because of Beyblade, the show. As
Uh-huh.
a kid, I tried to make Kai work for a little bit because I used to say, I was like, oh, it's a short for Kyle, but it's because like the badass like character in Beyblade, his name was Kai.
Like my name's Kai.
Yeah. He was like the very
That's wild.
stereotypical villain in the first season, become good guy in the second
Yeah.
season. Like,
I'm Kai.
Kai.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
cool.
Yep. Now we
So
have,
is that
now
time
we have
machine?
smartphones.
That you were talking about?
Now we have
Does that
smartphones.
exist?
Replaced everything.
All the
No.
information in the world, none of the fun.
Now we like chat about IKEA. Isn't it cool? It's a big store.
It's got everything.
I mean, yeah.
Meatballs.
Cheat code books
I mean,
for
it's-
video
it's-
games.
Is Dutch
I have
Bros
so
really
many.
the top dog right now? Like, what is the ultimate buying experience?
You know,
It's
Online. I mean,
Bucky's. I've never
we
been
don't
there.
have one, but I heard it's amazing.
The
And I would say Sportsman's. That I have been to. I think that's pretty
Sportsman's Warehouse.
because it's fucking huge and there's a waterfall and there's
I still feel
but
that.
that's
I
not
still
like
kind of
a-
feel that way about Shields. Shields
Yeah.
still feels kind of
I could
has some of
see
those
that.
vibes.
but probably Bucky's is the I don't any
Well,
of
talk
us
about
been to
for, like, a
Bucky's?
kid. No, but I
I feel like
my
as a
family is.
kid, Shields would still be the kind of store I would have liked as a kid. Like
there's
Shields
the-
captures a lot of that.
There's an
vibe.
arcade. There's the president's talking to you.
There's an arcade.
There is. It's pretty big now.
Yeah.
Have you been
Where?
back in a while?
There's the shooting range, the arcade
The
shooting
shoot-
range.
I know that, but that's
No.
not an arcade.
There's a full-on arcade now
Where?
upstairs. Go back again. You'll see they've like
Let's go there
updated
tonight.
it. They've updated it. It used to be small. They've added. It's still nothing like huge, but it's a decent arcade.
Okay.
It
Okay.
has
Was there,
skateboarding,
like, a week
guns,
ago,
random bowling thing.
Yeah.
Has
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah.
it's got the cool
Ferris wheel.
yeah the
But let
Ferris
me ask you
wheel.
this.
No.
We live in a world now where
We live in a
everybody's
society.
everyone's like hyper obsessed, worried about every fucking. I'll tell you a story after we close this down that makes me depressed. But everyone's obsessed with, controlling every variable in their kids' lives. We used to literally would walk into Walmart, we'd sprint to the electronics section. Let's say in 3 years, 4 years, you go to Shields. You just say, yeah, go ahead, go run up to the arcade while I go shopping for this. Do you feel comfortable doing that?
No.
See? I think that I don't know what's changed, but I think it's different now.
Well, but
I don't feel comfortable with that until my kid's at least a teenager.
We
And I feel like I was doing that before I was a teenager.
100%.
Yeah.
we aren't the only ones though, because my dad, his parents, he was 8, sent him on a bus by himself to San Francisco.
Built different.
And they're like, he's fine. He missed his exit.
Oppenheimer, when he was 8 years old, went to, like, again, you don't just like jump on a plane in 1920, 1930. That was in 1910. Took a fucking train from New York City to New Mexico, where he went with his teacher from high school and studied science in the middle of the fucking desert for a summer.
Sound like
You don't have a cell phone or FaceTime or nothing, and then they came back. Oh, how was your summer?
It was good.
Yeah.
I learned so much science.
What have we lost?
He taught me hide.
What have we lost?
Hide
Now
the
now
hot dog.
people have to have a
Summers
fucking
in New
GPS
Mexico.
tracker on everybody to know exactly where they are at any fucking minute.
See,
I
but
don't
it's
like-
a gradual thing.
I have a story that I can't share on here, but it's gonna break.
But
your
here's the
hearts.
thing too. It's mainly like, well, I mean, we're talking about the American perspective, but Japan, they are doing the same shit that we were just talking about. They send their kids out by themselves to the grocery store when they're fucking 8.
Yeah, because
There's a whole
everyone in that
TV show.
culture is old.
I
as
also
fuck.
I don't think so. Like one argument I see a lot is like, oh, society's different now. Like it's not safe for kids to be out and stuff like. I
Disagree.
think what it is even with all the stories you read of all the tragic things that happen, and they do happen, and it makes your stomach turn. You
read
think
about
like,
all of it.
and you're like, oh man, like I don't want my kid ever to be in that situation. Which of course we don't. I don't think that it's any worse now than it was back then. It's just people were ignorant to it back then.
Well, you
Because
hear
it's
about
still
everything.
Yeah.
it's still statistically unlikely that your kid's ever going to be in that situation.
Yeah.
So like they were ignorant because you never read it, you never heard it. It was on the newspaper only in that local county where it was printed. And now information is so readily available that all the bad stuff comes with the good stuff. And it's just information overload. And you read a story about some kid in New Mexico that, God forbid, something terrible happened
Yep.
to him. And then you instantly start thinking, I can't let that happen to my
And
kid.
there's a four-part docuseries on Netflix made about it. That
Right.
makes you think like, oh,
So-
I can't fucking have that happen. It's like, dude, I walked home from school, which was like a straight mile away at like fucking second grade.
No.
Got into my house that no parent was home for.
So is it just how we as Americans consume that media too? Because they have the same type of stories in Japan,
No,
but
here's
that's not slowing
it-
them down.
perception becomes reality, and that's what it is. You cannot tell me that the world is a riskier place than it was 50, 60 years ago. That doesn't even make track with me. One of my favorite things that people say is, we used to leave our keys in the car all the time. I bet you could go your entire life if you just left your fucking keys in your console, and your car would never get stolen.
Depending on where you live.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
there are places
sure.
where your car will get stolen right quick.
Sure,
But that's always been the case.
always.
It's always been the case.
But like, I feel
depending
like
you
where
live.
we live here, like
Yeah.
in kind of the urban, suburban, area, 100 fucking. I mean, like overnight parking in, when people were talking about that, they would leave their keys in their car like when they would go run into a store. I'm not talking about like parking it out in front of your house like overnight. Like obviously they always took their keys in. But like I bet you could go your whole life if you went to Walmart or went to a store and left your keys in the fucking center console, your car would never get stolen.
Yeah.
I bet you your whole life.
In my neighborhood, if you will, and I'm counting my HOA plus like the 15 others that are around me. There's a ton of houses there. There's probably thousands and thousands of houses right where I live. We're on this Nextdoor app, and so I'm constantly getting information about people who live near me. There was like this guy that was attempting to burglarize houses, and he hit like 4 houses in one night, and he wasn't successful. Every single one he couldn't get into, gave up, left. Everyone freaked out and was like, "Oh my God, this guy, and rightfully so. You're kind of unnerved by it.
Sure.
You're like, "Oh man, I wouldn't want some weirdo trying to get in my house." But then, like, if I didn't have access to that information that happened, I never would have thought about it. Never would have even considered that as a possibility. And the fact remains that I'm one of thousands of houses that live out there. He tried 4. It's still super statistically unlikely he would ever go to my house.
Yep.
So, like, I'm not saying, like, just be
Naive,
ignorant and naive, but, like, sometimes things happen and you just have to, like, accept that things happen and just be comfortable with, like,
well, and let's
didn't
look at
happen
the
to me.
reality of that
Like,
situation. Nothing happened.
nothing happened.
He just
Yeah.
tried.
He tried.
Failed, but because everyone's got a Ring camera.
No, everyone's got security systems, Ring camera, like.
Yeah, and the reality is too, like young kids.
I'm not saying don't be stupid.
Sure.
Protect yourself. Be smart. But
like we used to see, especially in our neighborhood growing up, graffiti everywhere. It's because kids played outside all day. I don't see fucking graffiti anymore ever. It's so rare that I see like actual new graffiti or new shits getting tagged. It's so rare. Why? Because kids are fucking staying inside. They're
They do
fat
all the
and
trains
lazy.
now.
I'm pretty sure that's graffiti from the 80s.
No, there's new shit. I see trains every day.
See new
people
new
love
touch-up?
tagging trains.
Yeah,
Well, sure. They keep it to
they
trains.
focus to trains now.
But I'm telling you, every summer they would have to repaint the fences on this one particular road because it would get tagged every single summer.
No.
I've been going to my parents' house for fucking years since I graduated high school. Not once have I seen it tagged. And I'm like, that was tagged every fucking time. They'd wait for them to repaint it and they'd hit it again. It was like, fuck, always.
No.
Nobody does that shit anymore because nobody gives a shit.
Again, depending on where you live, but
Mhm.
like
Yeah, you're gonna
in
find
our
exceptions.
experience,
Yeah.
I could
So
see it.
I think perception becomes reality, and this idea that we just have to protect our kids because we've all read the stories.
We have to also remind ourselves that like things we read are not the norm, no matter what the situation is. Like we
Yeah.
see things all the time. We're like, oh my God, this is insane. It's not the norm. Like that would never happen.
Mhm.
Like, for instance, it's tragic that this happened, but like recently, I don't know if you read that plane in LaGuardia, New York, that crashed into the fire truck.
Did you listen to the audio?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Fuck, dude.
But like I saw like a huge group of people saying like how they won't fly anymore because like, and it's like that's tragic, but that's not a reason to not
That
fly
group of
anymore.
people was already not flying.
Like,
And-
yeah,
Like statistically, like that, because I've heard that argument from like my mom. Like when I would go on a trip, she'd be like, "Oh, be careful. Are you sure you want to be flying right now?" And I'm like, statistically,
Right now.
I was like, I'm more likely to die on my way to work driving than I am to die in an airplane.
Yeah.
So I'm still good.
It's but shit does happen, and we all read about it, like the Southwest flight where part of the engine ripped off, and just sitting in her chair, the fucking piece came in and killed her in her seat, and then they had to immediately land, and they had to sit there next to a dead lady.
Yeah.
That's fucking tragic. This story of this overworked air traffic controller that was trying to handle an emergency while also clearing runways because they didn't have, I don't know what the process is, but he was doing 2 jobs. couldn't get a hold. Shit happens. 2 people die or whatever it was. Like it's shit. But again, like 170 million people fly every month or something like that, and you don't really hear about these. It's crazy that you hear that's the worst thing in aviation in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Year. You know what I mean?
There's more people on that very same day. They're just not reported in the news. There's more people on that very same day that died in car accidents.
Oh,
Significantly more
Yeah.
people that died in car accidents than died on an airplane that day.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
just because it happened in an airplane.
And like, what's the whole statistic with like bears? There's one with like bears are actually like people are so scared of them, but actually, if you add up the number of like deers are more lethal
Yeah.
to
because
humans.
you hit them on roads or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that, but it's true.
I've never been in danger because of a bear,
But a deer,
but I have been in danger because of
Yeah.
a beer. A beer.
a beer,
I-
a couple beers.
I love those. I love those weird little quotes that people or statistic comparisons that people come up with because it's like you're more likely to die from blowing up a balloon than a great white shark attack, and you're like, huh? You know, like they'll have some random stat, and you're like, oh, I guess
The
you
one
can
that I
die
always
doing
laugh
that.
at is how the most dangerous animal in Africa is actually a hippo.
Yes,
hippos
by
kill
far.
hippos kill more humans than any other animal in Africa.
Like,
And people are so scared of
Significantly.
lions.
People are so scared of lions. Statistically speaking, unless you're like encroaching on their territory, they don't really give a shit about you.
you're
It's
not
the
you're-
hippos that you got to
You
worry
don't have
about.
enough calories. It's not worth
Yeah.
them. Lions were not gonna hunt us because they want one meal to share for their entire pride. They don't want. They don't.
If they're
one
killing you,
human,
it's out of defense. It's not
unless you're a jumbo human. Maybe.
Then they're like, oh,
the Jumbo 5000 model. I've been looking for one of these.
I've only heard rumors.
Want to call it there, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Where can people find us?
They can find us right here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, where we come at you live. Please remember, give us a like, subscribe, comment down below, tell us what you think. Tell us, are you starting a new Cyberpunk playthrough? Because I
God,
might.
That's all gassed over again.
Yeah, and so now
Is this copyright?
What?
This cyberpunk music?
I think if you have,
Our outro music is cyberpunk? Is that what
you
we're
can
doing?
have clips of it.
Oh,
clips
okay.
of it. Well, yeah, let me know if you're gonna play Cyberpunk again. Now that I heard that, I might. You know,
That's all it takes.
that's all it takes.
That's
Just put
it.
that song on and like, yeah. But we'll bang, okay?
Bang,
Now I'm
okay?
playing Mass Effect.
All right, with a good KD, you get the dub.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.